previous lecture, we have learned with the plasticity, fine, and how the development is there. As you know, that growth, meristematic there, then differentiation, then maturity, and then at last senescence, and then leads to death. Fine. So now we will discuss with the next topic. The most important portion of this chapter, it is the phytohormones, and the full form will be asked frequently, that is PGRS. PGRS. Fine. So the full form is plant growth regulators, also known as phytohormones. As you know, that phytology means the study of the plant, and as you know, that plant growth regulators are broadly divided into, or the phytohormones are broadly divided into two parts. Right? In which two parts? Growth promoters and another is growth inhibitors. Fine. So here plant growth promoters are three. Three hormones are plant growth promoters, and two hormones are growth inhibitors. So here auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin. Fine. These three hormones are there: auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin. And another two hormones which are there in the growth inhibitors. These are two of abscisic acid and ethylene. Fine. So total 5 growth promoters are there. Let us discuss in detail. The plant growth regulators, as you know that in the 22nd chapter, we have learned with the properties of the hormone. See, hormones are secreted in very least quantity, in very minute amount. As you know that in our body, the hormones are originated at one place and has effect on the another place. Hormones are directly poured in the blood. Hormones are chemical regulators. So it gives the message. We say that it is chemical messenger. It consists particular message in which particular function can be performed there. Okay. So origin site and effective site are different in human body. So similar to that, few properties are resemble similar here. Hormones are required in very small quantity, simple molecule of diverse chemical composition. So same way, when you know that in our body we have lots of the hormones are secreted in our body which have specific function, and each and every hormone has specific site for the action, specific targeted organ and specific function. No any type of the function can be replaced by the another hormone. Fine. So particular function for that particular hormone is required there. They could be indole compounds. Fine. So here there are few names of the auxin there. Fine. Let me tell you. Another names of the auxin. Indole derivatives. So indole acetic acid, also known as IAA, indole butyric acid, that is IBA, naphthalene, acetic acid, that is known as NAA, 5 and 2,4-D, 2,4-dichlorophenoxy acetic acid. Okay. So here some are indole compounds. So indole 3 acetic acid, that is IAA. Cytokinin is actually adenine derivative. Cytokinin is adenine derivative. I mean to say purine derivative. 10-furfuramine, purine nitrogenous base. Previously, cytokinin was also known as kinetin. Fine. That we will discuss in detail about the one by one hormone. Fine. But here in your textbook, so many things are given in the different way. Fine. So adenine derivative, that is purine nitrogenous base derivative, that is kinetin, and that information is of the cytokinin. Then derivative of the carotenoids, as you know that carotenoids are nothing but yellow to orange colored pigments present in the plant. And as you know that carotenoids consist carotene and xanthophyll. So carotene is orange colored pigment, whereas xanthophyll is yellow colored pigment, and the carotenoid derivative, that is abscisic acid, it is in the short form known as ABA. Whereas you know that gibberellin it is short form known as GA and cytokinin known as CK. In 22nd chapter we had learned with the cholecystokinin, that is the full form of the CCK. So dear all students, please understand this full form. CCK is there belonging to cholecystokinin, which stimulates the contraction of the gallbladder, and with the help of the secreting, it secretes the bile juice in the common bile duct. Fine. And here CK, that is cytokinin. Terpenes, gibberellic acid, also known as GA. So please remember, actually gibberellic acid, there are more than 100 types of the gibberellic acid, but in plant the gibberellic acid which is more common, that is GA3. So please dear all students understand that common gibberellic acid present in the plant, that is GA3. Okay, there are more than 100 types of the gibberellic acid. Fine. And we can give the names of the gibberellic acid: GA1, GA2, GA3, like that. And ethylene is only evaporated or gaseous hydrocarbon. Ethylene, that is C2H4. We can say like this: CH2 double bond CH2, right? And in chemistry you know that it is alkene, and alkyne. So this is ethylene. Double bonds are there between the carbon. So ethylene is only there which is gaseous hormone there. Ethylene is gaseous or evaporating phytohormone in the plant. Now, plant growth regulators are variously described as a plant growth substances or plant hormones or phytohormones in literature. So this is very brief information about the phytohormones. The PGRS can be broadly divided into two groups based on their functions in living plant body. One group of the PGRS are involved in growth promoting activities such as cell division, cell elongation or enlargement, pattern formation, tropic growth, flowering, fruiting means fruit formation, and seed formation as well as seed germination. These are also called as plant growth promoters. Example: auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin. The PGRS out of the other group play a very important role in plant response to wounds. Wounds means any type of the injury occur on the plant. At that time, it inhibit the particular function and stresses of the biotic and abiotic origin. So any type of the living organism or non-living thing can affect the plant, and plant is now under the stress condition. Okay, so they are also involved in various growth inhibiting activities such as dormancy and abscission. Dormancy is nothing but along with giving or along with providing the suitable atmosphere to the seed, seed cannot germinate at all. Okay, dormancy I had given the meaning to you in the previous class. Again I can say it here. Along with providing suitable conditions to the seed for the germination, the seed cannot germinate at all. This phenomenon is known as dormancy. Along with that, abscission is known as fall off. Fall of the fruits, flower, leaf, etc. etc. This is known as abscission. So, dear all students, please understand the meaning of the senescence and abscission. Both are totally different there. Fine. So, such hormones are included in the such activities like dormancy and abscission. The PGR, abscisic acid, belongs to this group. The gaseous PGR, please remember, the gaseous PGR is ethylene, could fit either of the group, but it is largely as a inhibitor of growth activities. Fine. Okay, let us discuss the discovery of the plant hormones. Interestingly, the discovery of each of the 5 major groups of the PGRS have been accidental. Each and every hormone has a specific history for discovery. Fine. So here in previous paragraph we have learned with the characteristic of the common hormones. What is plant growth promoters, the basic meaning of that, and what is growth inhibitors. So previously in that characteristic only we had classified the hormones into 2 groups only. Fine. Now the discovery, all this started with the observation of Charles Darwin. Actually, Darwin visited the Galapagos Island, and during the observation of the Galapagos Island, he found that one black colored small bird there, and Darwin was given that name finch, and this small bird is known as Darwin finch. This Darwin finch consists different size and shape of the beak according to the edible capacity of that bird. Different types of the food. According to that, the birds have different types of the beak. And Darwin told that these different types of the beak are evolved due to the according to the need of the food by the birds. And that's why the Charles Darwin, known as father of evolution. According to the observation of the Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin, when they observed the coleoptile of canary grass. Coleoptile means the tip of the plumule, which is present in the monocot plants only. Coleoptile is protective covering just over the plumule. Whereas you know that in the structure of the monocot seed, the protective covering to the radicle. Protective covering of the radicle known as coleorrhiza. So coleoptile is protective covering of the plumule of the canary grass, responds to unilateral illumination by growing towards the light source known as phototropism. Dear all students, I want to revise one thing that you had learned in the 10th standard, that tropic movement. Yes, the plant perform the movement but not a locomotion, whereas animals perform the movement as well as locomotion. You know that without changing the position of the body, the part of the body can be changed in its position. It is known as movement. But when the organism can move its body part along with the change in the position of the body, it is known as locomotion. So there are two types of the movement in the plant: tropic movement and nestic movement. Tropic movement is directional one. According to the external factor, the plant shows the movement according to that. So in the 10th standard, in phototropism, you have done with this experiment that put the one plant in the box, and on the one side of the box you have to keep the window. You open the window, so from that window, open window, sunlight is now entered inside that box. The branch grow towards that region. So this is known as directional movement of the light towards the light. It is known as phototropism. Okay, whereas nesting movement, which is according to the external stimulus intensity, it depends on it. It has not any type of the relation with the direction. And if you know that Thigmonesti mimosa, touch me not plant. So in mimosa or touch me not plant, when you put the finger over there, the leaves shrink or leaf curl. એને લજામણી કહેવાય. Mimosa or touch me not plant, or also known as chui mui. Fine. So in this plant, Thigmonesti, nesting movement by touch, this will there. So coleoptile of the canary grass can grow in the direction of the light. It is known as phototropic movement. After the series of the experiment, it was concluded that the tip of the coleoptile was the site of transmittable influence that cause the bending of the entire coleoptile. See in the diagram 15.10, arrow indicates direction of the light. So when you emit the light over the coleoptile, the tip of the plumule, in opposite to it, that light emission on it, towards that light emitting source, the branch is deviated towards that. Auxin was isolated by FW went from the tip of the coleoptile of the oat seedling. Fine. So here please you remember that oat coleoptile, first auxin was isolated and discovered. Another point I can say you here, auxin was first observed in human urine. Okay, auxin was first observed in human urine and it was discovered first auxin was first isolated from oat એને જમ કહેવાય coleoptile, the tip protective covering over plumule in monocotyle. Okay, so this is about the discovery of the auxin there. Now in detail about the discovery of the gibberellin. Actually in the paddy plant, one fungi affect that paddy plant. So in this paddy plant, what happened due to the infection of the fungi? This fungi produce some chemical, and due to that the growth of the plant is inhibited. So now here the name of the disease is known as Bakane. Fine, Bakane. Bakane also known as foolish plant. The plant has very short length or stunted growth there, we say like that. The name of the fungi is Gibberella and the chemical is secreted from this fungi is known as gibberellin or gibberellic acid. See, the Bakane, foolish seedling, disease of rice seedling, rice, paddy, etc. was caused by fungal pathogen Gibberella fugicuroi. This is the full name of this fungi. Gibberella fugicuroi. E. Kurosawa reported the appearance of the symptoms of the disease in rice seedling when they were treated with sterile filtrate of the fungi. When the fungi secretion can be filtrated, then sterile filtrate, this plant can be treated. Fine. So right seedling can show the few symptoms. The active substance was later identified as a gibberellic acid. So this is the history or discovery of the gibberellic. Now cytokinin, F. Skoog and his co-workers observed that from the internodal segment of the tobacco stem, the callus, see, internode, the mass of the cells present on the stem, the mass of the cells present on the stem known as node. You can easily observe the node on the sugarcane stem. Between the two successive nodes, the region is known as internode. Dear all students, please use the successive word. Between the two successive nodes, that region is known as internode. And for plant, the cultural methods are there. Tissue culture method. In tissue culture method, from one cell of the stem or root or leaf, we are able to form the whole plant. So the mass of the undifferentiated cell is known as callus. Actually, this callus word is also there in our fractured bone regeneration phenomena. See, when in our bone fracture will be there, fine. So at the fracture site, new and new bone cells are formed there. So new cells form that produce the small mass group of the cells. It is known as callus, and due to the formation of this callus, the fractured site is gradually healed. In this way, in our body, the fractured site is gradually healed and our bone is regenerated. And you can apply the rule also that omnis cellula est cellula. As you know that this omnis cellula est cellula, this word indicates that the new cell will be formed from the pre-existing cells by this cell division. Okay, it is there in the 8th chapter. So similar to that here, the callus is known as group of the undifferentiated cell. So F. Skoog and his co-workers observed that from the internodal segments of tobacco stem, the callus proliferated only if in addition to the oxygen, the nutrients medium was supplemented with one of the following: extract the vascular tissues, yeast extract, coconut milk or DNA. Skoog and Miller later identified and crystallized the cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means division of the cells. See, the cytokinin promotes the cytokinesis, the division of the cells. So cytokinin is mostly observed in the meristematic tissue and it promotes the growth. How? It increases the number of the cells, increasing the length as well as the width of the cell, and increase the maturation, means the differentiation. So you know that division, elongation and differentiation. These three phases are of the growth, so it promotes the growth, and due to the increase in the cytokinesis phenomenon, the name here it is given that known as cytokinin. They term as a kinetin. So kinetin is adenine derivative or purine nitrogenous base derivative. Previously it was known as kinetin. Then similar type of the cell dividing chemical also observed in the maize termed as a zeatin. First it was known as kinetin. Then later on similar type of the chemical present in the maize known as zeatin. And as you know that the scientific name of the maize, makai, known as Zea maize. And according to the scientific name, zeatin name is given there. And then afterwards find out that cytokinin. Now, the discovery of the abscisic acid. During the mid of 1960s, three independent researchers reported the purification and chemical characterization of three different kinds of the inhibitors. Inhibitor B, abscisic acid and dormine. See, abscisic acid, it is also known as dormine because abscisic acid promotes the seed dormancy. Abscisic acid promotes. Abscisic acid is promote the seed dormancy. As previously I told you the meaning of the seed dormancy, that along with application of the all the suitable conditions to the seed for germination, seed cannot germinate at all. So actually this promote the seed dormancy, but it inhibits the seed germination. That's why the abscisic acid is also known as dormine, also known as stress hormone. How? When in the plant water stress condition is there, very less amount of the water is there. So due to the less amount of the water, the stomata are closed. So it prevents the water stress condition in the plant. It prevents water stress condition in the plant. So it stops So it closes the stomata, but due to the closure of the stomata, respiration is stopped. So CO2 cannot enter there, so photosynthesis rate decreases. That's why the abscisic acid is also known as water stress hormone. Later, all the three were proved to be chemically identical. It was named abscisic acid, okay, or ABA. So this is the discovery of the abscisic acid. And now the last portion, that is of the ethylene. Cousins confirmed the release of the volatile substance, evaporating or volatile hormone, okay, ethylene. In the ripened fruit, when the fruit is fully ripened, in that ripened fruit, we found that the one chemical, that is ethylene. So, ethylene is very useful for early ripening in the fruit. Okay? Cousins confirmed the release of the volatile substance from the ripened orange. So when you put the ripened orange with unripened banana, okay, as you know that from the orange fruit wall, the surrounding layer from the orange, some chemical is secreted there, which create this smell when it is coming in contact with our hand. You know that. Fine. So this is volatile hormone. So from the ripened orange, the volatile hormone, that is ethylene, it is secreted. So when you put the ripened orange with the unripened banana, so ripened orange secrete the ethylene, and due to this ethylene, the unripened banana can ripen earlier. Fine. Hasn't the ripening of the stole unripened banana? Later, the volatile substance was identified as a ethylene gaseous PGR. So this is only one PGR. Fine. That is volatile gaseous . So here I can stop now. In the next section, in the next lecture, we will discuss in detail about all the physiological effects of each and every plant growth hormones. Fine. So I hope you understand this. See you in next lecture.